श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
வேதாந்தாச்சார்யவர்யோ மே சந்நிதத்தாம் சதா ஹ்ருதி. ராமானுஜதயா பாத்ரம் ஞானவைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம். ஈரொன்று தோப்பல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு பணேர கோமளவும் வாழ்வு.
We are taking up Rahasya Navanitam to continue as a secret work, minor secret work of Sri Vedanta Deshika. And we have been referring to what we call Purva Krityam. Purva Krityam is what we do, what we are supposed to do as the first step towards Sharanagati. So, to go on the process of the total surrender, we have got some necessary qualifications to start with. And we will step on to the process by what we call Purva Krityam. That has been dealt with earlier. Now we are going to the next step, namely Uttara Krityam. Krityam is duty, Uttara is later duty. So the next duty is what should we do? Now, in spite of our complete faith in the Lord, said in Sanskrit as Rakshishyati iti Mahavishwasaha, the previous step being Goptrutva Varnam, the choice of the protector. Now, still a lot of doubts linger in our heart. That's a problem with us. And therefore, we must remove those lingering doubts, dismiss those apprehensions, remove the fear in our heart. And we must cajole our mind, and we must bestow second thoughts, and then we must try to appease our mind for the future fear. We feel afraid. We feel terribly afraid. Even after the total surrender, not because that we don't have faith in the Lord, but we have got some fears. So then how to remove the fear? The process is reading the Divya Prabandhas. So that is the most important process. So Alvar's Divya Prabandha is more important than anything else, even the scriptures. So, for example, Tiruvaimozhi, as Tamil is our mother tongue, can be read easily than reading Samaveda in Sanskrit. And therefore, we are not initiated easily to read Samaveda in Sanskrit. And generally, when we belong to other Vedas like Rig or Yajur, first we must try to learn our own, what we call family scripture. Then we go to the next one. And the problem with our attitude is Shakha, S-H-A-K-H-E. 1,000 shakas are there of Samaveda, and only a few are available now. Gautama, Pippalayana, so on. So you have what we do is we do minimum study of our own scripture. For example, I am said to belong to Krishna Yajurveda, and since Taittiriya Upanishad is recommended for minimum study by any Yajurvedin, so I go to a preceptor, learn the Taittiriya Upanishad, and then stop with it. That's all. So there are good people who will continue the Veda Adhyanam, the study of scriptures, up to what we call Ghanapatha. Ghanapatha. So we have a lot of steps, seven recitations to go. So it's very difficult. It takes 14 years. We must be very busy. Yeah, Ashta Vikritis, yes. So when you start reading Samhita, first Samhita, finish the reading of Samhita, then Grama, Krama, Jata, and there are so many varieties. So then it's very difficult. Pada, yes. Krama, Pada, Jata, finally Ghana, Rekha, yeah. So you have so many steps to go. So we are reluctant, we are lazy, we have no time, as we say. And therefore, the easiest way is to read because it is mother tongue. Tamil is our mother tongue, we can read Thiruvaimozhi. So Thiruvaimozhi represents the 1,000 branches of Sama scriptures, Samaveda, and therefore. So then, of course, we can read Vedanta Deshika Stotras to understand the principles contained in Divya Prabandhas, especially of Nammalvar. Of course, the works of Ramanujacharya also tell us how to do samadhanam to our mind. The mind is disturbed, restless, and therefore, how to bring down the restlessness of the mind. We have some great Acharya's works. Even Vedanta Deshika will be helpful, no doubt about it. So what do? So we try to put down the disturbing thoughts in our mind. So what do we think? For example, if you take the 23rd verse from Sri Stuti, we say, of course, openly, loudly, advise others and so on. Mata Devi Tamasi Bhagavan Vasudeva Pitami. Very easy to say. The universal mother is Mahalakshmi, and the supreme God, who is the father of the entire universe, is Vasudeva. Mata Devi Bhagavan Vasudeva Pitami. It is easily said, but it is not done. That means in our heart of hearts, we don't feel so much respect, affection towards the divine couple. But again, it is this attitude is developed further by reading Thiruvaimozhi. And then we say the same words, Attanahi Annayahi. Let us consider that Lord Sriman Narayana is our parent. And he is also the mother. He is in the combined role of both the parents. Tvameva Mataja Pita Tvameva. We read it from Ramanuja's Gadyam, so Sharanagati Gadyam, and then we read it in the Ramayana in the mouth of many people, especially Hanuman. So Tvameva Matacha Pita Tvameva. You say this every time. So you go deep into the meaning of Tiruvayamozhi and then find out some solace for our heart. Manasai Tetri. So Attanahi Annayahi என்கிற பாட்டின்படியே மனசை தேற்றி. We have got a lot of apprehensions of our future. Because of our old age, we feel rather weak day by day. And you have a sentence in Tamil by Alvar, Avarar Tunai. Avarar Tunai. So who will help me in my last days? So in that way, so we try to make our mind peaceful. And then Chitranjirgale என்கிற பாட்டின்படியே now the Tirupavai Chitranjirgale, I think it is either Surati or Madhyamavati, 29th Tirupavai. I wish Rajagopalan Swami to sing it perfectly than myself, because I would invite Rajagopalan Swami to sing the 29th Pashuram.
சிற்றஞ்சிறு காலே வந்துன்னை ஜெயித்து சிற்றஞ்சிறு காலே வந்துன்னை ஜெயித்து ஒற்றாமரையடி போற்றும் பொருள் கேளாய் பெற்றம்மை துண்ணும் குலத்தில் பிறந்து நீ குற்றேவல் எங்களை கொழாமல் போகாதே எற்றை பறை கொள்வான் என்றுதான் கோவிந்தா எற்றைக்கும் ஏறி விரவிக்கும் உந்தன்னோடு உற்றோவேயாமோ உமக்கேனாவாழையோ மற்றை நோகமங்கள் மாத்தேலோ
Nice that we have you in our group, and you are a valuable member, daily furbishing, replenishing our ideas that learned from Vedanta Deshika's Rahasya, Chillarai Rahasya, minor secrets, especially Rahasya Navanitam. Chitram Chirukale. The problem with our old age is we can't sleep all the time. Of course, Alvar, Tondadipudi Alvar in Tirumala said, Vedanur, Pirayannuru, Manisardam Pugavarenum, Padim, Urangi Pom. If at all we live for 100 years, 50 years are gone for sleep. But we have disturbed sleep. We suffer from sleeplessness. And therefore, I would say, Chitranjirgale Vandunmai Sevit. Get up early, get up earlier, get up as the earliest. So we are getting up at 3:30. 3:30. So we answer the nature's call and then we don't get sleep. So we have disturbed mind. Yesterday night, actually many people were awake, witnessing beautifully the Thirumanjanam, the anointment of both Ranganatha and Ranganayika together as Panguni Uttaram, as is saying in Tamil. The festival happened last night. That is yesterday. So morning till 9 o'clock, he was enjoying, Lord was enjoying the company of his consort. in the sanctum sanctorum of the goddess. That is very important. Therefore, she is Anapayini, she is ever inseparable from the Lord, and therefore, so she, what I say is, we are ready to be awake. Our eyes are not winking while we have a seva at the beautiful anointment of the Lord, the divine couple of Srirangam. But when we have, so what I say, Sittandirgale Vandu Unnai Sevit. So that is what we call in the next line. Yengira Patin Padiye, Sarva Prakaratalum, Ananyanai. We are not going to any other god for any other advantage, shelter, succor, moksha, emancipation, liberation from the cycle of birth and death, and so on. We are concentrating only one God, namely Sriman Narayana. Of course, in different names, in different forms, in different places, in different temples. So, Sarva Prakaratalam. All my thoughts converge on only one Lord. And I do not belong to anyone else. Ananyanai. Veru Deivathayam. Welcome to Sheshadri Swami. Veru Deivathayam Palaniyam Nadadavanai. Nor I go to seek any other god, deity, or nor any other fruit from any deity, any other deity, except Sriman Narayana. So this is what we call Ananyanai. Then again, so what should you do? We are not going to expect anything in return for our, say, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Prapatti Yoga, especially here Prapatti Yoga. We are not asking for a business contract between the Lord and the individual soul, namely us. And therefore, Swayam Prayojanam. So there is no use for us. It is used for him. H capital. So Swayam Prayojanam. And how do we understand? It is according to the scriptures, Shastriyam. It is scriptural. It is spiritual. The Shastra says, we are not to expect any advantage, fruit, positive result for us, for our selfish purposes. We should not ask the question, what do I get by total surrender? Sakrideva Prapannaya Tava Asmiti Yachate was the Charama Shloka of Sri Ramavatara. And therefore you find that Tava Asmi, therefore I belong to you. That means I don't belong to anyone else. So that is the beauty. So then, Swayam Prayojana, Shastriya, Kaikarya Paranahi. Now please remember, the burden of service is on us, on our head. The Paranahi is we are engaged totally in doing service. A small one letter change becomes different in meaning. So Kaikarya Bharaha, we are called Kaikarya Bharaha. So taking up the responsibility, burden of doing service. But Kaikarya Paraha, always busy in doing service to God. So we must become in the later stage in the sense in the duty afterwards, namely after performing the first duty. So we are going to the second part, namely Uttarakrityam, and we will be taught in total service to the only one Lord according to the scriptures, Shastriyam. Shastra means science in Sanskrit, the spiritual science. And we must always feel that Lord is happy to receive us. Lord is ready to bless us for our total surrender. And the Lord will be happy on our total surrender. So we are not ready, we are not supposed to be expecting any happiness out of doing total surrender. Ippadi all, so by this process, or adhikariyai, So Adhikari is a rightful person, a person who has got the full right, R-A-G-H-T. Adhikari is not actually officer or powerful master. Here Adhikari is a rightful person. Sharanyan, who is that Sharanyan? Sharanyan is Lord Sriman Narayana. He is fit to be surrendered. He is fit to grant us the succor, refuge, shelter. So what we expect him to do is make us devoted to him. That's all. Hitatamatile, hitatamam. So what should be convenient to us? What should be palatable to us? What should be our attitude? That means hitam is congenial. It is a favor. Hitatamam is the maximum favor. So the maximum favor that we must get is what we see in your footnote here, B, Prapatiyil. We are going to engage in the total surrender. Only the topic, namely subject, namely concept, namely the total surrender should be in our mind. It should occupy our mind. It should haunt our mind also. We must never forget Prapatti. So B, Muttum Badiyam. So what we are requesting the Lord is to keep us busy with the concept of total surrender. Let us go through the process of total surrender by His behest, B-E-H-E-S-T. So by His direction, by His love, by His order, by His instruction, by His command. So we are to go on the process of Prapatti. Let us not withdraw from the concept. Let us not come out of the process. And then, ivanukku priyatamathai pannumbadiyum. So look at the word C. Sakala papangalayum pokki moksham tarudal. Now look at the Charama Sloka of Krishna Avatara, the incarnation as Lord Krishna. The second half, so aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. That is the line taken here. So what do we expect from the Lord? There are two shades of meaning here. So though we commit fraud, though we do mistakes, the Lord should pardon our mistakes. The opposite. So we want to do mistakes, but we don't want the sin. We don't want to perform meritorious acts, but we want merits. So this is our attitude, and therefore, what should he do? He should help us the most. So what we like, we will go on committing sins, but the sins should be washed away by him. So that will be. So even if Priyatamate Pannumbadiyam. Now, I am just giving the interpretation, but we are not supposed to have the desire to commit sins. So that's why I'm just saying that we like something, but we don't work for it. We don't aspire for it. We aspire for something else, which is not right. So Sharanagatan is we all. So we all surrender. So we have totally surrendered. Sharanagatan. So what does he become? Vita Shokanai. The first line in the paragraph, the second line in the paragraph said, Manadai Tetri, page 44, Manadai Tetri. So we wanted to put down our restlessness of the mind and give solace to the mind. Now you find that we are totally out of grief. We are not sad now. Vita Shokana. Shokam, grief, sadness, gone. Vita. Vita means gone. Now we are without grief. Now what should you do? Sarva, when he has made us get relieved from the sins, and when we are now happy, of course we are now our sadness is gone, we are ready to be happy. So what, in order to be happy, what should we do? Sarva Sheshiki Priyatamangalana. Now, so before going to the page 45, let us go through the meaning of the Tiruchandavritam. Tiruchandavritam. Ammalvar. Attanahi Annayagi Alum Em Piranumai. Ottavada Palpirapoinde Nammai Atkolvan. Muttanar Mukundanar Pukundu Nammun Mevinar. Ettinal Idarkadal Kidandi Eri Nenjabi. Now, Lord has three roles here, as it is said here. So, Attanahi, he becomes the parent. Annayahi, he becomes the affectionate mother. Alum Empiranumai, he is the master, he is a commanding personality. He is our affectionate person. Piran is in Sanskrit, in Tamil meaning, he is Lord. Is the highest supreme being. Then, so what did we do? So we have been born in many births. So sometimes we get the birth that we may like, sometimes we don't get the birth we like. Rather, we are born in a bad position. So we don't like we dislike the birth in which we are born. Some births are favorable, some births are unfavorable. Palpirappu Orindu. So I've been undergoing a long cycle of rotating, unending rotation. Cycle of birth and death with endless rotation. So then what happened? So all the, because the Lord has removed the sins, all the births have gone. Palpirappu Orindu. So he destroys the unending cycle of birth and death, and then he accepts into his fold, and he makes us agree to his conditions. So I am Nammai Aatkolvan. He redeems us. So who is that? Mukundanar. Mukundanar. His name is Mukunda. Muttanar. Muttan in Sanskrit, Tamil meaning he is like an elder brother. In the old tradition, in our family, we call the eldest brother as Mutta. Actually, Tamil exact word must be Moottavan. Moottavan is the eldest. But we call him Mutta. Mutta meaning elder one. He is like a father of the children. Where many children are there, and the eldest brother has to take the role of father after the father's death and take care of the other siblings, youngsters, brothers and sisters. So he's called. So now he is the elder brother. Who is that elder brother? Mukundan. So what does he do? Pugundu Nammun Mevina. He becomes Antaryami. He enters into our heart. As soon as we are born as an individual soul, Lord is also there. Lord is everywhere at any time. But because the life is born, he also becomes Antaryami, inner life. Pugundu Nammun Mevina, Nammul Mevina. He enters into our heart and then stays there. And now Alvar addresses the heart. Nenjame, O heart, O mind. Yeri Nenjame, poor mind. Oh, very poor mind. Poor in the sense, here it is knowledgeless unwise mind. Erring enjoyment. The poverty of knowledge is there. That means mind doesn't understand Lord fully, completely. So Shastras have not been read, scriptures have not been chanted, and Divya Prabandhas were not studied. If I am an illiterate, so there will be no knowledge. Erring enjoyment. So it's for all living beings. So where am I? So I'm just suffering. Ettinal idarkadal kidandi. So I've been suffering in my thoughts. Idarkadal. The suffering is like an ocean. Idarkadal. The difficulties face me as an ocean. So I'm drowning in the ocean of difficulties, impediments in life. I've been trying to swim over the ocean. I cannot come out of the ocean. Now he is asking, Ettinal idarkadal kidandi. So please have faith in Lord Sriman Narayana. Treat him as your father, as your mother, as your master, and he will destroy all our births, cycle of births and deaths. And he will take us into his fold. And he is a very kind person, like an elder brother. He is an antaryami in our inner self, in our heart. And now, oh God, oh mind, you have no reason to grieve. That is what you call grieve, G-R-I-E-V. So why are you struggling in the ocean of sufferings? எதற்காக நீ இன்னும் துன்பக்கடலுள் ஆழ்ந்து கிடக்கின்றாய்? So Tiruchanda Vritam of Nammalvar encourages the individual soul not to drown in the quagmire of the mundane worldly activities. And therefore, now, so what simply in one small sentence Nammalvar says, take heart, be courageous, be bold, don't hesitate to do prapatti, and always think of prapatti after doing prapatti. This is Uttarakrityam. So don't forget your prapatti which you did long ago. So no, if you only when I think because only 3 of us, I mean, if somebody wants English translation, of course, some people like welcome to Madam Chitra, I mean Sambamurti. So Attanahi, Annayahi is there, of course. Muttanar, Samsara Sambandham Illadavaru. Muktaha, Muttanar is Muktaha. Then Mukundanar, Moksha Bhumi Alipavarumana Peruman. Mukundaha, Moksham Dadati iti Mukundaha. ஒத்து ஒவ்வாத பல்பிறப்பு ஒழிந்து ஞான உணவையால் ஒத்தும் பொறிபேதத்தால் ஒவ்வாமலும் இருக்கிற பல்வகைப்பட்ட பிறவிகளை. I told you, we are not wise in some births, we are wise in some births. So because when we have some knowledge of the spiritual wisdom, then we go with the Lord. Otherwise, we are against the Lord. We become atheists in one birth, become theists in one birth. So, nammai adimai செய்வதற்காக, in order to keep us his slaves, pitavayum attanahi, annayahi matavayum, ஆளும் எம்பிரானாயும் ஆய், அடிமை கொள்ளும் சுவாமியாயும், நம்முள் நம்மிடத்தில் புகுந்து புகுந்து ஒரு நீராக பொருந்தினார். Now this is beautiful here because we feel we are in the ocean of difficulties. That is, ocean contains water. The water is called difficulty. Whereas the Lord enters into the ocean, into the difficult ocean of difficulty which we feel, but without being touched by the difficulty. That's what it meant by the first word in this particular page called Muttanar. Untouched by the difficulties of human life, he enters into our heart and removes our grief. So, ஏழை நெஞ்சமே மதிகெட்ட மனமே எதுக்காக எத்தினால் இடர்கடல் கிடத்தி துக்க சாகரத்திலே அழுந்தி கிடக்கிறாய். Why do you drown yourself when Lord is there for protection? That's the meaning of it. And Keshavada Swami will read the English translation for our felicity.
Like father and like mother too, the Lord who lives in all our hearts, he cuts the cords of countless births and takes us into his service, into his reserve, He is free. He makes us free. He enters us and fills our soul, the one by which, O lowly heart, we cross the ocean misery.
Thank you, Keshavada Swami. And therefore, so we'll look at the next, if you want to show this, Chitranjirhale. It's very easy to, because this is often rather, daily recited, what we call in Shatra Murai, at the end of any worship, Thiruvaradhanam, or any auspicious function. So these two Tirupavai, Chitranjirhale and Vangakadal Kadinda, are remembered by all. Sometimes some people may not know the other 28, but as 29 and 30 are memorized very easily, because every day we say this. So now this is the essence, actually, to tell you briefly before going to the paragraph of meaning. The cowherders has felt very fortunate that Lord Krishna, they thought actually, was born in the cowherd family. He was brought up in Gokulam on the very night of his birth. But they all thought that he is one of the children born in the cowherders' family. Therefore, so Petram Maitunum Kulatil Pirandu Ni. They are saying, they are addressing. So you are born in our place area where we only tend the cows and cattle. The cows, the calves, the buffaloes, the bulls, and also goat, sheep, and etc. And we earn by selling the milk, curds, buttermilk, and ghee, and we make a livelihood. We make a living. And then we take food. But the small service, the little service that we do, you are not to refuse. So this is what Vedanta Deshika stresses the point, namely, it is for his pleasure. We do service for his pleasure. It is not a service meant for our own pleasure. You please accept our service. Then already you promised moksha for us. So itrai parai kolvan. So Andrugan Govinda. So you have been seen. Of course, you know this Tirupavai has been composed by Goda Devi, Andan, another incarnation of Bhuma Devi, promised in the Bhuvaraha Avatara, the incarnation of as great boar long ago. And therefore, now the Dwapara Yuga is brought back in Kali Yuga. Therefore, Andrukan Govinda. Andhrakan Govinda is once upon a time Krishna lived in Gokulam, and therefore now he is seen in Srivilliputturu by Andal, Godadevi. So Etrakkim Ezhal Piravikkum Undannod. Even though we are going to be born in many births, now this is where Tiruvrittam, Tiruchandavrittam opposes the fact, namely, by the grace of Lord Srimanarayana, we are not going to be born in future. All the entire cycle of birth and death has been cut off, and it has been stopped, and therefore, Ezhal Piravikkum Undannod, Uttromeyavam. But our relationship will never get asunder. That's the meaning of this particular. A small contrast between Tiruchandavritam and Tirupavai. And the essence of the quintessence of the poem is Unakke Naam Aatsevom. Yes,
Swami
Swami.
Adiyan. Swami Adiyan. அதுல வந்து அவர் வித்தியாசமாய் சொல்ல, அதுக்கும் வித்தியாசமாய் சொல்ல. அவர் என்ன சொல்ற, என்ன பிறவி எடுத்து வேண்டாம், பிறவி வேண்டாம். அதுலயும் இதுல வந்து மறுபடியும் நான் உங்ககிட்ட வந்து சரணடைஞ்சாலும் மறுபடியும் நீ எந்த அவதாரம் எடுத்தாலும் உன்னோடய உனக்கு கைங்கிறத பண்ண விடு, அந்த மாதிரி. அதாவது
okay, that's also right. Right. But when Lord takes different incarnations in future, we are also born as in some individual souls, rather Jivatmas in life. Or you see, whatever be the birth that we are, that's what I think you mean. So by saying Ezhal Piravikkum, meaning Lord's incarnation. Lord's incarnation, is it Lord's incarnation that you mean Ezhal Piravikkum?
ஏழேழு பிரிவெல்லாம் கிடையாது. அவர் எந்த அவர் எவ்வளவு அவருக்கு வந்து எந்த அவதாரமும் இல்லாருங்க. எனி அவதாரம் we will be with you. நாங்க உங்ககிட்ட வந்தாலும்.
That's what I mean. Piravi in Tamil, the word Piravi is not need not be taken very seriously as birth. As you said, it can be incarnation. So it can be incarnation. If you say Ezhal Piravikkum refers to the incarnation of the Lord in different forms again and again. So Undannodu Uttromeyavam. Of course, whether we are in Vaikuntham or anywhere else, so we will be doing service. That's the point that you want to drive in. Am I right? Wherever you are, we are ready to serve you. Unakke naam aatsevom. Ekara Nachiyar Tirupavai Andal. So we'll be always taking about Unakke naam aatsevom. Ananya Prayojanaraj. So we saw the word in Ananya Prayojanaraj, and the Prayojanam, the advantage of making a total surrender is with the Lord, not with us. We have no selfish aim in doing the surrender. Right. So that's the. I would like Keshav Swami to read the English translation. Of course, Tirupavai itself has got a lot of inner meanings.
Govinda, in the wee hours of the morning, we have come to worship you and praise your golden lotus feet. Pray hear our purpose. You were born in the cowherd clan. Now you cannot refuse to accept our service to you. Know that these goods are not what we came for. Through 7 lives and forever, we would be close to you and serve you alone. And if our desires be different, you must change them.
That's all so through 7 lives, the word 7 lives, Ezhal Piravikkum, would refer to up to Ramavatara, the 7th incarnation. The 8th incarnation is Krishna. So that means next word is forever. Forever. So we will be close to you. We are close to you in the Krishna avatar. We will be close to you in future. And we will not seek any other God. Unakke nama chevo. We are related to you in different ways. You are our parents. Tvameva matacha pita tvameva. Tvameva bandhuscha. Any kind of relative you mention, that is we are. Sakha tvameva, friend, teacher. Ramanujacharya said, Tvameva gurus tvameva. You are our elder. You are our wealth, Dravinam. Tvameva vidya. You are our wisdom. So whatever knowledge that we want to earn, it will be earned from you alone. Tvameva sarvam. Everything is you. Vasudeva sarvam. That is the right attitude of the cowherdesses. Who, of course, the cowherdesses were the incarnations from of the gods in heaven, plus the sages in the forest of, we say, Rama's incarnation time. So all the sages worshipped Rama and then pleaded before him that they would like to serve him in his next incarnation also. So the sages also, along with the gods, were born as cowherdesses in our incarnation of Krishna. And therefore, so while in the Ramayana, of course, monkeys were the forms of gods to help Rama. So that is the basis. But here the point is to be borne in mind from Vedanta Deshika Rahasya Navanitam is that our service never ends. And our service is not for our happiness. And our service is meant for only his happiness. That is to please him only. And it is forever. So these are the 4 points to be stressed because of it. And whereas, of course, Tiruchandavritam expects us to have full faith on the Lord. And therefore, he is asking the mind, don't worry, ma suchaha. The 2 words in the Charama Shloka of Lord Krishna has been translated into the last line of Tiruchandavritam. Ere nenjame, idakkadalil kidandi. Yadanal kidandi. Why are you loitering in the ocean, trying to come out of the ocean, suffer the trouble of the ocean? When already assurance has been given 2 times or 3 times, Varaha Avatara, Rama Avatara and Krishna Avatara. Aham nayami mat bhaktam, bhakti. Paramam gati. Nayami paramam gati. I will take him to the highest abode. Then why do you worry? Whereas the Jivatma is kashtar pashana sannibham. Lies down like a log of wood and stone. So these are all Charama Shlokas which we have assurance, but still we have fears. That's what we say. Manadai Tetri, we got the first line. And again we say we have got some disturbing thoughts. Restlessness of the mind. So as we tend to think of God only when we have helplessness, felt more and more day by day. So that is the meaning. I am happy that Rajagopal Swami is also adding to the inputs by the word the permanent association of the individual soul, unforgetting the Supreme Soul. And that is the main point here. For the last one is Matrainam Kamangal Matelo Rambavai Tiruchandavritam, and the last line has got the equivalent. Namely, Edanal Idarkadal Kidati. Why do you suffer in the ocean? Come out of the ocean. Come out of the ocean is by of course, mind. And as we say in Tamil, in Sanskrit also, தாமரை இலை தண்ணீர் போல வாழ்க்கை நடத்த வேண்டும். As the drops of water on the lotus leaf do not stick to the leaf, nor it doesn't stay out of the leaf. Padmapatra toyamiva.
श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम् कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्त गुरवे वादिशिवशिरोभङ्ग पञ्चानन पराक्रमा श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य चिरं विजयतां पुरी சீரொன்று தூப்பது வேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியோர் ஒருதானே அமையாதோ தாரணியோ வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர கோமளவும் வாழ்வு.
Swami, can I ask one quick question from Sanskrit?
Yeah.
There are many words for ghee
Yeah.
in Sanskrit. Sarpisha and Grita and Ajya.
Yeah.
And is there any difference in these words? Because Ajya, is it coming from cow's milk or from goat's milk?
No, never ghee comes from goat's milk, number one.
Because Ajya is a goat. So I was thinking Ajya.
Oh, no. Ajja means goat. Right. Ajaha means goat. So now this is a connotation. Ghritam is ordinary ghee which we use for food. Ajjam is oblation ghee meant for fire, worshipping the fire god. Ajjam. And Satpish also is another name for oblation ghee. Ghee meant for oblation into fire. These two are special names. And I think we have one more. There are two names here, Satpish and Ajjan. When we say Havis, the word Havis is common to, of course, Havis, we mean only the cooked rice. Cooked rice, we call it Havis. And Havis is a common word meaning oblation. So it can be ghee also. Havis can be ghee also. But generally we mean that it is only cooked rice. Odanam. But actually Havis is anything that you offer into the fire is of course Havis.
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम् कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.